Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boys Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Or whatever.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!
What's going on, Cowboys Nation? It is time. It is no more mini camps, no more drafts, no more free agency, none of that crap. It is time for the 2025 training camp. The Jersey Boys Podcast is back here on the Chop Sports Network, and of course, coming to you live from the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru studio. That's where I'm at right now. But of course, my co-host Bret and Keith Ernst. Bret, how we doing? It looks like we got a new member. Who do you got over there?
Yeah, we got Murphy. He's a new member of the Jersey Boys. If he's a stray, we found him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's so
looks
nice.
like a bitch, dog. He looks like a bitch.
He was wearing this.
Oh, so you had to take him in.
We had to
Never
take
mind. He's not a bitch if he was wearing that. Never mind.
you turned him into one by putting the colors on him. Anyway, Keith, how we doing, bro?
Good.
That's
all.
great.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. We didn't mean to bother you with a podcast today. I'm glad you got your little emblem up there now.
The Grinch is,
The
also
Grinch
here.
is back.
No, it's gonna be. He's gonna hate me right now because I am little Sturchin to the degree as the Dallas Cowboys start their training camp today. Videos, pictures, all this shit.
Before you start, what I
Here we
want to see, and all I want to see is the cut. If we can cut something together of your reactions last year at the end of the season and your reactions now, that's what I want to see.
It's what's that line where they just, when you think you're out, they pull you back in. That's exactly what
I just
they've
think
done.
it's hysterical, though. But
Yeah,
I'm done with this, brother. I'm done with this. For years. I'm done. I'm just
He
done.
called me last week. He's
done.
like, I got to admit, I'm a little optimistic.
Well, what I say? I said they're pulling me in. That's what I told Keith too. I'm like, dude, the Pickens pick was great. We recruited drafted some running backs. O-line looks hefty. We haven't signed Micah. We got a lot to talk about. But I'm starting to get caught up in it. And then I make the mistake of watching old, like, childhood Cowboy games.
The glory years, yeah.
Well, no, for us it wasn't. The Danny White years wasn't.
It was not. Yeah.
But it just starts to rekindle that. It's almost like when it's you smell the fireplace and it reminds you of Christmas, and then you start, you know what I mean? Like, you start to get a little excited, even though there's going to be no gifts under the tree, and
It's because
that's not coming home.
Pull them all, yeah.
Yeah, but
So look, we'll start. Obviously, camp started today. There was an intro press conference yesterday that was very interesting because Jerry just had verbal diarrhea again, and that's not news. So any Dallas Cowboys fans who are new here, this is not breaking news that Jerry Jones is just spitting off at the mouth. The big question that was raised was to Schottenheimer, how do you get this? How do you get Micah going? Without the contract thing, and he said he's a leader. He's stepped up. He's here for the team. Blah blah blah. And Jerry Jones, in typical Jerry fashion, comes out and says, well, Micah wasn't with us for 5 games last year. He was hurt. It's like, all right, I get it. Go on. So I don't know. I think Jerry Jones he's once again doing the same thing, guys. He's just kind of prolonging and dragging this out. I don't know how far into the preseason.
All right, but wait, Search. I saw that. I also like the digs he took at Diggs.
He did take a digs at Diggs. Yes.
But, it is a different Jerry in a sense where he kind of criticized as opposed to putting on those glasses, those rose-colored glasses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to an extent. The Diggs thing was just an explanation as to why, like, he's like, you guys want me to all jump all over the Micah contract, but I went ahead and re-signed Trayvon Diggs and Terrence Steele early, and look how that's panned out, right? So that was literally I'm like, oof, God, and right now Trayvon Diggs does start along with our boy Demarion Overshawn on the pup, so they won't be active in the first round of camp, and I don't think at all, to be honest with you, just a lot of side work. But there's a lot of things to still address on this team. We talked about the draft. We talked about the free agency. We talked about everything they've done. But yeah, today was camp day 1, and there's a lot of reports coming out. I do want to start with what I think is the most important thing here, and this is something that we've been harping on for 5 years as a podcast now, and that's Dak Prescott, right? He's coming off an injury. He tore his hamstring off the bone last year. You know, it was just kind of catastrophic. You saw the clip saying, you know, we fucking suck. You know, like there was a lot of bad vibes. So Keith, your opening reactions to Dak Prescott, or not reactions, but more or less your expectations for Dak Prescott heading into the 2025 campaign.
Meat on the bone. Leave it alone. What's that from?
I have no idea.
I know.
The meat on the bone thing was funny.
I know what it's from, but we can't say it, can we?
You could say who said it.
Was it 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, it's 2 Live Crew.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, he tore the meat off the bone. But here's the thing with Dak and all that, and I brought this up in a text. To me, still his best season was his rookie season, when he had a quarterback behind him that could replace him at any time. Okay.
And that was Romo coming off injury, really.
Yeah, it was Romo.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I'm sorry. I should have said that. I meant, if you're a Cowboy fan, you should know that. But thank you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was Tony Romo that could have came off injury and came in at any time. And Dak played his ass off, almost flawless football. If you remember, he almost had a record for not having any turnovers,
right,
at all, or something, or was it interception? It doesn't matter. He just played his ass off. Now there's a new guy in town named Milton. And this dude, okay, who I liked very much, and I was very excited we got him. I have receipts of people who weren't, but I was pretty excited
to get him.
I was pretty excited, and I basically
he's like Jerry Jones. He takes his digs.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. He might not be, you know, the guy I think he is, but you know, just having that guy behind him, I think will help push Dak. And I think that he will have smarter decisions, and he has the talent to do that with. He doesn't have to, what should I say, overperform. Just do what you got to do. You have the talent around you. Don't be stupid. Just like you did in 2016. You're a good quarterback. You're not an elite quarterback. You can't win games on your own. You need the help, which is that's not a knock either. I mean, you're an NFL quarterback.
You're just going based off the first 9 years of his career.
Yeah. I mean, you got what you need. Not any quarterback can be a good quarterback and go in the NFL and do what Dak can do this year, or what he did in 2016. That's an accomplishment. I'm not putting him down. But my point is that he has someone behind him similar to a Romo, and I expect Dak to have a good season. And I even put it, and I wasn't joking with the MVP. I would throw a little money on that, and I wouldn't have after the end, because I didn't think we were getting a quarterback. If he was rolling in, just starting with, you know, what's his name, with Cooper Rush behind him. I know we got rid of him, but I'm just saying.
Well, still got Will Greer.
Yeah, and you're going to Will Greer. Anyways, that's what I think.
To add to Keith's point, though, you know, my critique of Dak is game managing. Sometimes, like, you know, just getting those simple first downs, overcomplicating things. But when I was looking up Danny White, remember I sent you guys the quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
Dak's up there with fourth quarter comebacks. So sometimes if there are players that play better with the pressure as opposed to just not having it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was surprised at how many fourth quarter comebacks he had. So maybe the pressure will help him. You know, who knows?
So some videos have surfaced already today from training camp, and obviously Joe Milton is there, right? And the dude he's got a cannon. Like, first of all, like the guy like dropped back to pass at his own 15, and I think he put one on a rope to the opposite 40. Like, I was like, dude, what the fuck? And of course, like to your point, Keith, I think that's a very, very big thing to have somebody that will put the pressure on and keep the heat on. Not saying like, hey man, coming for your job. It's just like, hey, there's competence behind you now. There wasn't, I mean, I don't want to say competence, because Cooper Rush did perform
Right. But
right?
everybody knew he wasn't going to be
Right. And you look at a guy like Joe Milton, who is very raw, right? And he's very like, if I put a name like a character to like Willie Beeman-esque, the dude can move, he can throw, he's a little raw, rough around the edges, but he can go on there and command an offense. And I think for Dak Prescott this year, I think that lights a fire under his ass. Dak doesn't like taking reps off in training camp, right? So like he's gonna have to really work this year. And just based off a couple videos, again, it's day one, so we can't get too crazy, but just historically, every time Dak Prescott has come off a catastrophic injury, he's absolutely balled out. And I know this is going to sound, I don't know how ridiculous this sounds, but dude just had another kid. His life is kind of in cruise control now, right? Like you got your family set, you got your mansion being built, you got all this shit. Now you can focus on football. And I think for me, that's a big thing. He's a big mental health advocate. He's gone through a lot as a person, but now you've given him his best weapons he's ever had as a Cowboy. I understand he had Amari Cooper on paper. Yes, on paper, but he had Dez Bryant and Amari Cooper, right? Dez was on the tail end of his career. Amari Cooper was, had the dropsies sometimes. But now if you look at this team assembled,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think Amari came after Dez left us.
Oh, so it was Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. That's
it
what
was. There you go. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they had decent weapons, but now Ryan Clark goes on ESPN today. And again, I don't really take anything for what they say, but like Ryan Clark went out there and said, outside of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, the next best duo in the league, and it's not close, is going to be CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Brad.
On paper. Now that's because what we're talking about now, we're doing speculative intangibles with Dak, right? Well, maybe the pressure will help. But if we're going on paper, what this is going to add to have a solid number two, a deep threat, because even though CD's a baller, to me, he wasn't like a Dez Bryant or Michael Irvin, just get up and get the ball.
He's not built like that.
Yeah, he's not built like that. Pickens is.
Yeah.
And, there are some number ones that need a solid number two in order for them to be a number one. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense because it takes.
We have basically we have 2 ones on paper, which is going to help.
And to be honest with you, just based off of what I watched today from all the Cowboys coverage out there today, there's a lot of packages where they're lining up on the same side of the field, and CeeDee Lamb is your slot receiver, right? So and then on the other side, you might have a Brooks or a Flournoy or whatever. But like what I'm saying is, there's a lot of damage they can do when they're on the field on the same side of the field. And just based off of reports today, Brian Schottenheimer called a complete offense, and about 90% of the plays there was pre-snap motion. We haven't seen that in a very, very, very long time. That consistent, at least. We saw it within Mike McCarthy's system a little bit, Kellen Moore's a little bit, but Schottenheimer likes to try to confuse you a little bit. And I think when you have 2 guys like that, and then you sprinkle in like a Kevontae Turpin with his speed, there's a lot of speed on this offense. And I know we're not touching on the running back yet, but
well, that's a big thing, Sturch. So, we have to have, in order for this to work and be balanced, this is, Little League 101, but you need a strong running game. You need that threat.
And that's the Keith's point when he said that the best season he's seen Dak play, he had a guy named Ezekiel Elliott win almost MVP rookie.
But you also got to look at the plays they were calling. It wasn't complicated.
No, it wasn't. That's why they dubbed him Dink and Dak. Remember, it was just a lot of underneath shit, a lot of like crossing patterns underneath the drag routes, nothing too over the top. You didn't have to worry about shit like that. But kind of switching gears into the running back room, right?
And he ran too, by the way.
And he did. And I think, and again, I think there's a misconception right now where because his bigger injuries have all been lower body, right? When he snapped his ankle against the Giants, he tore his hamstring last year. It's all lower body. I think there's a conception and there's a consensus in the league right now, and people studying Dak Prescott tape, that they think that the running option is just gone. I don't feel that way. I feel like if you're going to bulk up and you're going to try to be a better form of athlete, the modern day quarterback guys, and you guys can attest to this based off of all the old school stuff you guys used to watch back in the day. Every quarterback now in the NFL has to have the ability to get outside the pocket and make a play on the run. Every quarterback, because if you can't
Dak
do
was
that,
great. Dak was great on the run.
You watched Aaron Rodgers do that shit last year. He was a shell of himself because he couldn't get outside the tackles.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it depends what you mean by that. I get what you're saying, but I mean,
situational. I'm not talking about calling quarterback draws. I'm talking about
right. I mean, no one's saying he can't get outside, but I'm just saying but what Bret was saying, how he ran, that might be pretty much gone like his rookie year. I mean, remember that one run he had against Washington? I think it was his second or third year where Josh Norman, he
stiff armed the shit out of him.
He ran like 80 yards. That shit's gone, bro. It's gone.
Well, again, maybe it's not. You know what I mean? Who are we to say? You know, so like
I've seen it. I mean, look how it was last year. He even said that there's wasn't there something that said don't run? Nobody wanted him running because of just in case he got injured. Remember that? Wasn't there a sign at they said at training camp or practice?
Well, maybe last year.
Last year. Yeah. Last year.
I think this is a whole different regime. I think the coaching matters big time. I know there's a lot of will.
But he can get outside the pocket. I mean, Matt Stafford can get outside Jared Goff can get outside the pocket.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Dak can do that, but he's not running like he used, like what we were referring to.
He can pass on the run too, though. He loves
on the run.
I miss Dink and Dak. I think a Dink and Dak type quarterback is what we need, man. And look, you know, Fergie didn't he get hurt?
No, he was banged up a little bit. He had a concussion for a couple of weeks. Yeah,
but he, you know, that one tight end, Stevenson, what's his name?
John
Stevens. Yeah,
that guy. Is he hurt again?
I think so. I think
he was hurt last year. I don't know about now. I haven't seen anything.
I saw something written that they did I saw a Dallas Cowboy article who they thought would make the team, who wouldn't, and who's on PUP, and he was on it. So I don't know. Maybe they were speculating he was going to be on it, which is nice.
just overall.
That's the type of guy too, where you come in with a 2 tight end set. You got a Pickens and CD, and then you get a big body tight end that could get up.
And you got to give a little bit extra to Shoemaker. Like you think that he's gonna have to step up this year, and I think that this is a big make or break year for the tight end position altogether for the Cowboys, because we really there's nobody that throws a better seam route than Dak, down the middle of the field to the tight end. If we get production out of Ferguson, there's gonna be a lot of points to be scored.
The thing, Dallas has never lacked talent. Our problem is we've had 4 exceptional players and then 9 average to make up for those exceptional. And, you know, you need everybody to be, you want to have those exceptional players, but what makes those exceptional players is when the average players, they step up their game.
Right.
And it just seemed like, you know, we had great corners, linebackers were dead, one great rusher, end rusher, interior dead, above average quarterback, one great receiver, you know what I mean? And then everything else. But
I think that's every team in the NFL, Brett. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a team that has just a solid, everybody around is just so good. You know,
no, but what I'm saying is
they won the fucking Super Bowl.
Do the good players make the average play above average? And a lot of that has to do with coaching. Because you see teams like Kansas City. I mean, they got no-namers stepping up.
Right.
You need that. And who knows, Schottenheimer, if he can bring that to the table. I mean,
it just seems like the energy is a little higher.
It's a little different.
There's a little bit of an extra pep in the step today at training camp. And I'm just is it everybody just excited to be back? Are we going to get into the dog days of summer, mid-August, where people are just starting to slouch? From what I see and I told you guys this via text and maybe even the last show we did, I'm kind of bought into at least the philosophies of Brian Schottenheimer, how he's going to coach in real time. That remains to be seen. Is he going to, be a screw up in time management like McCarthy was? Nobody knows, but just based off the vibe and the aura that this dude is giving off, I'm kind of bullish on him right now. I'm really very excited to have a new face that's not when you bring in Mike McCarthy, what does he do? hey, look, got a ring here. You know, I've done this before. I know what it takes to get to a ring. Then you have 10 years of Garrett where it was like just complacency, average, subpar, had a couple really good seasons where we thought it could have been over the hump, but it wasn't. Before him was a smorgasbord. It was the Phillips of the world. It was the, Chan Gailey, Dave Campo, Bill Parcells was sprinkled in. It just feels like Schottenheimer is a little bit more of a player's coach, and he gives a shit. I don't know if that makes sense, but he cares about his players. And I don't know. Again, this is just the vibe I'm getting based off of press conferences. And of course you can't judge anything until they're on the field, but I don't know. I know Keith is just like, dude, he's little Sturching his ass off right now.
Well, Sturch, go ahead. Keith, you want to say something?
No. I have problems. I have problems. I foresee things, and normally they come true.
Okay, so what's your problem? What is this something that's
I just see a Sturch text saying, "This stupid motherfucker. Who the fuck does he think he is? Who calls a play like that? Get rid of him." That's what I see in the future. So, and I get it. Emotions take us, but I just think it's funny just hearing that, and I know what I'm going to see. I just know it. I just know.
Well, I mean, look, we're not going to win every game, and
but I just think it's funny. Like the two.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I also noticed a difference, and I could translate this to comedy a little, where the younger generation has a different mindset, whereas the older coaches, the old school mentality is, I'm a man, I'm going to work, I need to do my job regardless, right?
Andy Reid.
And the older coaches are more like, look, you're a professional, be a professional. And they're assuming that. But when you get a younger type coach in there that can kind of relate or motivate younger guys, it's a difference now with younger players. It's the same thing with comics. It's like, you got to get them prepared. You got to let them know there's not as much mentoring, if that makes sense.
So for example, with your comedy, like when you walk into any random club and you're the headliner, right? If the guys before you are the old heads, and there's a difference of how you would interact with those guys that you would overreact with, like a Paul Verzi or somebody younger, where it's like, now you could just kind of be yourself because they're with you. But
the older guys come prepared. They
sure.
They just show up and they're professional, where like some of the younger guys, they're like, hey, they're going to wing it a little, or, whereas you got to tell them no. And it's simple little things. Like when I work with younger comics, I'll tell them, hey, don't do this. Don't ask questions and poll, or, stay in the pocket more. Don't, there's advice you can give, but it's just those little adjustments because the talent is there.
Right.
But you do need the mentoring. There are still tricks. And a lot of the older coaches, I think, maybe assume that these guys know that.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm picking up what you're saying here, but
because when you're looking at the new college kids coming in, especially with the NIL, I mean, these kids are all about.
Some of these kids are making more than guys on the lower end of the NFL salaries.
Yeah. And they're also looking at the Instagram, the podcasts, like everything that has nothing to do with what to do on the field.
Yeah, and you would hope that there's some kind of culture change. I know that they speak on that a lot in the Cowboys world, how the culture has always just been like, hey, you're America's team. Hey, the spotlight's always on you. Hey, it's just always like in your face. But I think now, I think it's changed. I mean, think about the longest tenured Cowboy on this roster. It's Dak Prescott. That's the oldest guy on the roster. That's insane to me. Like that.
And it's only 8 years.
Right. Well, it's his 10th year, but like,
no, is it?
Yeah. I mean, he got it drafted in 2016. So it's his
ninth season.
But what I'm saying is there is no more Zach Martin to fire the guys up. There's no more DeMarcus Lawrence. There's no more of these older guys that are just like Tyron Smith, all these guys. Now you have a very young Cowboys team where your leaders have to be, at least on the offensive side of the ball, Dak Prescott. And all of a sudden you're looking at Micah Parsons, who's in his mid-20s, as the leader. He has to be, right? And I think that he wants that. I think he wanted that role. Like when all that stuff started to surface about DeMarcus Lawrence and his saying like, oh, I'm never going to win over there, blah, blah, blah. Like everybody was just kind of like, all right, bet, like, okay, dude, like you're gone. It's my time now. And, we're just days away, in my opinion. We're days away from Micah Parsons being the highest paid football player, non-quarterback in history. That's what I think is going to happen. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it hampers the salary cap or not, whatever, it is what it is.
Could you imagine how good our defense would be without injuries?
Look at the
Diggs and Overshown and Parsons.
Right. And they're all at some point, they will. I mean, barring knock on wood injuries prior to their getting back, but we will live in a world, you would think, with Deron Bland, Diggs, the corners that we have, the secondary, then you have Overshown, then you have Micah, then you have the opposite side of the defensive end of the ball where we brought back Dante Fowler, who had an amazing play today. Today, there was also a screen pass developed that Dak Prescott dropped back to pass for a screen pass, and Marshawn Nealon dropped back into coverage unannounced. Dak didn't see him, and Marshawn Nealon gets a pick. You know what I mean? So, like, these guys are going to be flying around the ball. I truly believe that. And again, we're talking about the defensive side of the ball. We have Matt Eberflus as the new defensive coordinator. That dude was a good defensive coordinator before he became a head coach. Some guys just don't have it as far as a head coach role.
It's still right. I mean, we could get excited all we want, but
that's we don't know. I mean, he might get another shot too. Fergus, whatever the hell his name is, as a coach.
Eberflus. Yeah, I mean, if the defense balls out, but what I'm thinking is, Mozzie Smith also came into camp a lot lighter, right? He knows his time. Like the jury has been out on him all of a sudden. We're like, this dude is just not the one tech D tackle that we need, right? And now he's being given the role of not only one tech but also three. And you have Osa, who just re-signed for his deal. So you do have a decent interior, plus the guys they drafted, plus everybody on the outside.
How is that decent?
What do you mean?
Mozzie Smith hasn't done shit. Like, that's not decent.
He hasn't. But what
that's
I'm saying is, if he comes
Osa's doing good, but getting excited about Mozzie doesn't make any sense to me. The guy hasn't done anything. He's been fucking awful. He had maybe one or two games good last year. I'm not excited about that. I'm not as giddy and excited as you and my brother about that.
I'm only excited.
What do you mean giddy about Mozzie?
I'm only excited that he showed up looking like the best he's looked. And that's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's great. Good. He can get a fucking cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Good for him.
He's not fucking Dontari Poe, okay? Like, he's a little bit better. Like, I think he's going to be a little bit better. And the ceiling is a little higher. It ain't over yet. The guy's fucking got drafted 2 years ago. Everybody calm down.
Yeah.
3 years ago. Whatever.
I mean, what do you...
He's not
3 years ago. We know. I mean, honestly, I bet. Well, here's my thing. I love that. I got to see it.
I said it. The jury's out. Everybody thinks he stinks. This is not.
I didn't say he stinks.
Yeah, you pretty much said he stinks.
I'm not saying he stinks. I'm just saying I'm not excited about him.
All right. Well,
no. What are you saying? He's still a concern.
Of course. If you can't stop the run in the NFL, forget it.
It's still a concern.
Yeah, I know. And the Cowboys also addressed another defensive end today. They signed Justin Houston from the Lions, I believe his last team was. So it's more defensive end depth. You have Solomon Thomas, who's going to be clogging the middle as well. Yeah. Big body. So look, if they can get it right.
Bro, my guy, this is the problem. And we have the same problem as last year, our linebackers, and we're not talking about it. We're just not. I mean, we should talk about that. I know our defensive ends. I know we can rush from the side. I fucking know that already. I know Osa can do what he can do on the D line. Our linebackers, that's what I have to see. And the only one I'm excited for that's healthy is Luafo. That's it.
And you would think he would be taking a very big step. He has to.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he played well. He got better last year. I mean, we don't have Overshown. They're not signing Kendricks back, which I don't understand. Kenneth Murray is not. The guy is was one of the worst.
Well, first of all, it's K9. That's his nickname. So thank you.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
well, K9 was one of the worst at stopping the run last year. I think he's on his third team now, right?
Well, again, it maybe you can agree or disagree with me, but like sometimes it's just fit. Sometimes
I don't agree with that. You could put Ray Lewis on any fucking team, and he's going to kill somebody. I mean, this guy. I mean, literally. But I mean, this guy, I mean, it's just when we talked about PFF and where they ranked him at stopping the run.
I know he was like
just
beyond
don't understand when somebody was the worst linebacker at stopping the run, one of the worst in the NFL, and that was like our Achilles heel last year. Oh, let's go get that guy as a free agent.
Listen, you're not wrong in your assessment based off of PFF's rankings and everything else, and I get all that, and they're the ones that are probably touted the most as far as having decent grades for everybody and making sure that and take everything into account.
I'm so reluctant to give into this defense right now, and I am excited about the defensive coordinator, but I can't after what happened last year, those games where we were getting that I've never experienced defenses doing that since Nolan's, maybe that was a few years ago, but this was still, they were at a record rate getting lit up. And my call is the second week of the season when the Saints trounced us, Kamara, anyone that got the ball.
And then the Saints never scored a touchdown again.
Never scored a touchdown again. And I'm us afterwards going, hey, well, let's give them their kudos. They're good, the Saints. I mean, that team may make it all the way through the playoffs.
Might win 2 games this year, by the way.
We thought our defense was good.
Well, talk about receipts. That's when I saw the problems in our offense. And I mean, the defense was obvious.
Yeah, but I mean,
we couldn't move the chains, man. We couldn't get drives going.
Defense was awful. Defense was terrible. Our linebackers sucked. Everyone ran against us, and I'm afraid that's going to happen again. And I don't see an improvement at all.
In the defense for that, I want to say that this year, the Cowboys offense can put up a little bit more of a better game per game, right, than they did last year with a healthy Dak. I'm just speculating off of what I've seen Prescott do, right, off an injury, what I've seen out of CeeDee Lamb, who was a top 3 receiver in football, and then you paired him with a really, 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 really good number 2, technically, but he's another number 1. I feel like the Cowboys are going to be able to put up points at a nice, large clip. So maybe, just maybe, that takes a little bit of pressure off the defense. Yeah, I don't know if this team's going to win games 10-3. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the only
game we didn't score a touchdown last year was against Detroit. I think we only put up.
Yeah, we got the shit kicked out of us from Detroit. Like they showed that shit on the quarterback.
Their linebacker.
What's that?
That's Sanborn, right? The middle linebacker we took.
Yeah, another unproven.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, we might have someone hitting it. I'm saying if we're rolling with the same linebackers we had last year plus Kenneth K9, we're in trouble. That's all.
Well,
I mean, we could have. They can get Kendricks back now. Remember when Kendricks was injured a lot last year too, a few games, but every game he was in there, man. That guy's a baller. It'd be great to get him back. But I meant, as far as that goes, now I did see a undrafted free agent we got that's a converted from safety to linebacker. He's like 6'4", 225. I can't remember his name now. White dude, but he converted in college, and apparently he's pretty damn good. So maybe somebody like that is going to come in, or we'll have.
What are your feelings? What are your expectations of one Damone Clark?
Gavone.
The Gavone needs to go, bro. He needs to go. And what pisses me off is, he's doing great. He's doing great in this mini camp. Because there's no pads. He's shooting the gap fine. They need to hit in order to make a good evaluation of players. They need to hit, and they need to put them in preseason games. That's the best way to see it.
I hope they do that this year. I hope if they're playing our guys in the second game and the third game like the rest of the league.
Well, to me, look, I'll
preseason's a big deal.
I think this year preseason is very, very important for the Cowboys because of the fact that there's so much unknown, right? And like there's new coaching. They got to work out their kinks too, right? They have to treat every preseason game like it's week 1 against the Eagles. They have to, right? They have a scheduled practice against the Rams in like 2 weeks, right? So like things are going to be moving fast for this Cowboys team, but it's the depth that we keep doing that. So like, for instance, they brought in Elam for a 7th round draft pick. We traded for him from Buffalo. Everybody seems to love this kid, right? And I'm like, Well, the last time I saw that dude, he was getting like picked on by Mahomes. You know what I mean? So it's like you're looking around like, really, that guy? But like they see something in him, right? So like I'm gonna have to see a lot of these new up and coming guys that you draft in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, even the 7th round, when these guys are so, you know, they're hole stuffers. You know what I mean? That's all their role is supposed to be, right? Is just to be there, stuff the hole, and then let the linebackers do their jobs. Now, which linebackers are going to do the jobs? That's another story, because we really don't know.
You know what's crazy too, and I know it's going to sound nuts, but we've all played. People keep people out of preseason to prevent injury, but if they're not playing in preseason, it sometimes causes injuries in the season. And you know, you get your dings, you do it, but you just play through it. And you know, that was what was going on with us. Is our 4th, 5th game, you're starting to get a rhythm when we should be getting that in our 2nd or 3rd game, because of our guys aren't playing in preseason.
Keith, do you think, or both of you guys, do you think there's any kind of PTSD? Because I remember where I was sitting in my apartment in 2016, I think it was. Romo played in the preseason and broke his back, right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, we lost our quarterback. Did it turn out to be okay because Dak Prescott was there? Sure. But do you think that there's any kind of,
well, you do want to protect, you do want to protect your quarterback. That makes sense. He should still be getting a couple of snaps, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean, give him a drive. Just and let him hand the ball off fucking 4 times. I don't give a shit.
Every other team does it, but it's more what we're talking of, the interior, your linebackers, you know, guys that are going to be knocking all the time. You need to get them in there. You know, there are skill positions that you do need to protect, you know, because just as a simple, you know, like what happened to Romo, just getting tackled from behind, fucking snapped his back, even though, you know, he was playing injured anyways. I can see the quarterback, but you got to give him a couple of drives. You can't just not play him. I am all for that, but I'm also all for seeing a lot of Joe Milton just to see what he can do. Right. Well, he's going to get most of the burn in preseason.
I mean, you would think if realistically, if I was the coach, hypothetically, I would say Dak gets 2 drives, whatever they wind up being. He could go 0 for 4 and hand the ball off 6 times, and that's it, right? Then you get Joe Milton in there for at least 2 quarters, and then you finish the game with Will Grier. You do that for 3 games. Maybe not the 3rd game for Dak, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like you got to see, at least get him some real game tempo. That's all I really want to see. Get the cadence down. All that shit. You're working with a brand new offense. You're working with a brand new shiny toy on the end, right? So there's a lot of moving parts, and the running back room in itself. Now, you know, when we drafted Tyler Booker, there wasn't a lot of happiness, right? Because we're just like, again with this offensive line shit. Like, but guess what? You know,
no, that's huge.
That's huge, and I think that dude is going to be able to push people around. Tyler Smith was ranked as the best, or one of the best, or top 2 interior offensive linemen in the league. You would assume that Cooper Beebe takes a step forward. Tyler Guyton was a little bit of a project, but from everything that everybody's saying, dudes, I mean, outside of the whole boxing in the rain thing, don't really understand that. But, you know, it seems like he's going to take the next step in his career.
Well, see, those guys,
what's up?
Those guys got to be playing a lot in preseason. They need to be in there.
Up. You have to.
Your O linemen, they have to get a rhythm. They have to, you know, they have to know what each other's doing.
Mm-hmm.
The O line, I know everybody says it is. The trenches is where the game is won, but those O line guys, you know, it's probably the most cohesive, where everybody has to do their job. And they have to get a rhythm. They have to get each other's speed, how fast somebody pulls, you know, and those guys should be playing almost, in my opinion, almost every down in preseason.
I truly think that because of the offensive line pick, that made the Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams free agency pickups so much better. And then you draft Jaden Blue, then you draft Phil Maffa, then you have Lipke, then you have Deuce. You have like 6 running backs back there that can all produce. That's my bold take going into the preseason. I think the Cowboys running game is going to be fine. I really do.
And we're going to have to do it by commission again.
Yeah, of course. But you know what?
Whoever stands out gets the most burn.
Yeah, but not for nothing. Until we designated what's this guy last year? Rico Dowdle as the number one. Until we actually came out and said it, he was getting like he had subpar games. Next thing you know, you make him the number one quarterback, a running back, and he's running his ass off 100 yards per game easily, right? So I'm thinking like if you have guys like Javonte and Miles as the veterans, and then you have Deuce Vaughn, who, you know, that was Keith's boy a couple years ago, and I don't think he's gotten like I've seen him try to run through the tackles, and it just hasn't worked so far. But like today, I watched the clip, and a lot of people are hyping this clip up. They handed the ball off to Kevontae Turpin out of the backfield. He was single back set. He was playing running back. So imagine having that kind of speed running downhill. Like that's gonna. I'm telling you, the running game is going to be fine.
No pads though.
I get it.
No, I bet that's huge. I mean, yeah, it's excited seeing Kevontae Turpin run when he knows he's not going to get hit and nobody's lined up in full pads.
I agree to an extent, because I say the same thing a lot. Like until they put the pads on, really, who gives a shit, right? And until you're checked at the line by a corner, who cares about what CD? another dog. We have too many dogs in there. What CeeDee Lamb could do with pads on? I get all that, right? But like I'm looking at this team where what kills defenses more than anything. Look at what happened to us. Speed kills. The Cowboys got a lot of speed on the offense right now. They do. And pads or no pads, they're fast guys, right?
Well, if we're going to keep Deuce, we got to make him work. I mean, you know, I was watching, I forgot who said it online. Deuce is still a weapon that we don't know how to utilize. Maybe Schottenheimer can figure it out. I don't want to lose that guy. I really don't. Especially if we're going to be doing, the dip and Dak. That's the type of kid that, you know, you get him out in the open. I mean, look, Deuce was very productive when he played.
I mean, not really. I mean,
he was to a certain extent.
I mean,
you got to use him right.
But Sturch, you could see you said when Rico Dowdle was set as the starter that, you know, his numbers started to look, but he started to look better. He never got a fair shot once, ever. He never got a Rico shot, and he never
Deuce.
Yeah. You have a point. I mean,
I can't see Deuce being a number one.
No, God, no. I just think that. So, you know, I guess something we talked about in pre is, you know, we've covered a lot already on this. You know, it's one practice in, right? There's going to be a lot of news and practice, like 3 more practices before the next time
we haven't gone over our schedule. None of that,
right? We're going to get into all of that stuff right before the season starts, and you know, get rolling on that. But we talked about it in pre. That do you have somebody that will be like, whoa, why did we cut him? You know, a shock cut, not your 7th round undrafted free agent, a shock cut. And unfortunately for me, I'll start it off. I think it's going to come from the running back room. You can't have all these guys. And I think they could all be very productive, right? But you can't. Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders to me are one and the same. I think only one of those guys makes the team. That's my shot cut. One of those guys is getting cut. I don't know who. Miles Sanders.
Okay.
Only for the sole purpose of that Javonte Williams is, I believe he's a little younger. I might be wrong on that. But like, I think that there's more tread on the tire of Javonte. And I think that you drafted Jaden Blue, right? And I think he's going to be an electric back in space. And then you got Lepke as your fullback. And then you got the guys like Phil Maffa. He might not make maybe he's a practice squad guy. Maybe he's the new Malik Davis. I don't know. But I think the big cut that we're all just going to like, ooh, I don't know about that, is going to come from the running back room. That's just me.
What about you, bro?
I was going to go with Jalen Brooks.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. That would, I'd be pissed at that if that was the case. But
you got to think of it this way too. Well, with Pickens, and it's either going to be Brooks or Flournoy, and I think they're pretty high on Flournoy. You know,
well, I'm sorry. How many receivers do you keep usually?
6, right, or 5?
Usually 6, yeah. Because a lot of guys play special teams as well.
Yeah,
but we also got to make cap room for. We're going to have to make room for Micah.
They have the room for Micah. They can make things happen. That's not a thing. Like, we're not going to have to. There's not going to be cap casualty cuts for Micah Parsons. They have that room. they can do it now.
Because if we're going to keep Turpin, and now we have Pickens and we have CD, right? So you got CD, Pickens, and
Turpin was
Cavante,
great. That's
which are
three right off the rip.
right? Then I'm looking here.
You got Brooks, you got Flournoy, you got undrafted guys that are going to be hanging around. You got
we got Mingo, Jonathan Mingo.
Oh, Christ, I forgot about Mingo. It's like, after that
I
Pickens
think
trade,
it'll be
everybody
a
forgot about
receiver.
Mingo.
Maybe Brooks, Mingo, or Flournoy.
But if you pick one, it's Brooks.
I think so, maybe. Or Mingo. I don't know.
Well,
It's
Mingo's
tough.
not really.
Once again, you know how the Joneses operate. The Joneses gave up a 4th-round pick for Mingo, so he's not going anywhere. Not to me, at least. I don't.
So that would be a shock if they cut him then.
I hope they
because
don't cut Brooks.
They're not gonna go in and say like, I guess we were wrong about that. They don't like being wrong, so I don't think he gets cut. So it's just my gut. But Keith, who do you got? Shot cut.
There's two that I'm thinking about. I'm really going shock here. One is Mozzie, and the other one is Shoemaker. Yeah,
second round pick.
If I have to pick, I'd say Shoemaker.
Now, but Sturch, you gave us the requirements that it can't be obvious, so that's why we're trying to pick somebody.
No, I know this is all hypothetical fun. I get it because
we don't want any of them. I don't want Brooks cut, but I'm saying
I don't honestly. That's the thing. I don't look at Miles Sanders as a shock.
No, because he's going in.
It's fine though. You could roll with yours, but I meant it's basically what I meant. Those, are there chances? But I'm saying if I'm gonna go and do something serious, like a really serious shock. Those are the two I'm thinking of.
You want the craziest of all time shock right now? Just this one's off the wall. This one's like, what the fuck? Trayvon Diggs.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm right now we're starting off on the pup. The vibes between Diggs and the Joneses are really bad right now. He did a lot of off-season training, not at the facility, where they asked him, hey, listen, if you go anywhere else, we're going to find you. And he went other places, and so vibes aren't high on Trayvon Diggs right now. And that's, I'm sure you'll slide into my DMs again, Mr. Trayvon, but I'm just like, it just, to me, it just hasn't worked out so far. Remember, he was one of the most lockdown dudes, 3 years ago, where people were like, dude, you can't throw to his side. You know what I mean? Like he was that good. He's a ball hawk. He's got interceptions left and right. He's got pick sixes, blah, blah, blah. Then you got Deron Bland, right? But you definitely need, why Stephon Gilmore hasn't been re-signed is another enigma for me.
I know. I would. He's still got some life
hanging at home right now, and he said he'd sign for the right reasons. Now, what I think is a lot of these veterans that are just kind of off to the side, they're not on any teams. I don't think any of these guys want to go through training camp. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. None of these veterans want to go to training camp. I mean, sometimes
used to do it all the time.
What?
Michael Irvin did that all the time.
Right. Like, who wants to go to fucking training camp? Nobody wants to be out there. You know what I mean? Like, they want to be playing. They want the pads on. So some of these guys might be holding out until somebody goes down, where, a third or fourth corner on our team goes out with a hamstring and shit. And he's like, oh, I'm right here, guys. You know what I mean? Like,
as much as I love football and as much as I would love to go back, I do not want to go through 2 days.
Right. I mean, it's not even remotely close to what you got to hear. Like,
I used to hate
Schottenheimer is when he has to talk about like what they're allowed and not allowed to do. He's like, this is complete bullshit.
Oh, the worst is when they're waking you up and you're in the dorm and you hear them banging on the doors. Let's go. And you're, for some reason in your mind, you're like, hopefully they'll pass my door.
Just forget all about you.
And then you got to get up and it's so damn hot in the morning. And you got your pads are on and it's just awful.
And then guess what? After that first practice, go get some lunch and we'll see you at 3. You're coming right back.
Napping in the hallway.
Right.
So, the guy I'm talking about is named Justin Barron from Syracuse, the linebacker.
Okay. I'll keep an eye.
That's my surprise undrafted. That's my surprise undrafted or surprise of the camp is going to be him.
Yeah, I like that. So that's your surprise. My surprise for camp is going to be people are just going to be salivating over the reemergence of Dante Fowler back on this team. I think everybody's going to go nuts for this, and I think he's already starting to show. It's a need, man. I'm telling you. Like, I just look at the recipe of the last couple Super Bowls now, And just based off what the Eagles were able to do to Mahomes and just beat the brakes off this guy, like that's how you have to do it. That makes any superhuman quarterback like a Mahomes, like a Burrow, like a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. None of these guys are effective if they don't have a clean pocket and they're just getting bulldozed every down. So I love the edge rushers of this team. I really do. I think that they're going to step up. I think Micah Parsons is going to get his deal done. And I think that, as sketchy as we are at the linebacker position and sketchy as we are in the defensive interior, I think there's a lot of depth there that we can maybe find a diamond in the rough, like you just said, like somebody like that, like a Justin Barron or a Sanborn or one of these guys that were just like, oh, he's on the team, that's cool, but like off the charts, like just jumps off the tape all of a sudden, where we're like, oh, okay, maybe we got a player here. So, it's kind of where we're at, It's
I know Detroit like that kid, that linebacker kid, the one. What's his name? I just said it.
Chicago, you mean?
I mean Chicago. Yeah, they like
he was a leader over there, and he started a couple games down the backstretch, and he was an Eberflus guy. So if Eberflus puts a stamp of approval on a defensive player, I'm going to listen for a little while, just in case I'm proven otherwise. Right? Do I think he's going to wind up like another Jalen Smith? No. Right? But I think that. Some of these guys, they have some promise and youth is on their side. So, look, there's so much shit to dive into. We're going to be doing that throughout the preseason. We'll jump on.
It started. Football's kind of started. So,
we're in the trenches now. This is it. This is training camp. We'll have a preseason game in like 3 weeks to talk about. We'll have, our schedule, our picks for the season. Bret will have them at 17-0, and we'll see what happens. After that, I'm sure Keith will bench Dak after 4 games. Joe Milton needs to be in. I get it. It's all relative. It's all the same shit that we deal with every single year. But again, it's a new season. It's optimistic. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's enjoy some preseason and some training camp stuff.
Let's enjoy it.
Until they rip our fucking hearts out again. Yeah, let's just enjoy it right now. Until the wheels fall off and we're just like, what is this team? Why is this team doing the things they do?
Dude, statistically too, or probability, there has never been a first year head coach to go and win a Super Bowl.
Until now.
Yeah, until this season.
Yeah, dog. Until this season. It's a season of first. The drought is over. January of 1996.
Are we the only team that hasn't been to an NFC championship in the NFC in the last, seriously? Since we've been last?
I think that's it. I think we're the last ones of the last.
Yeah, because Detroit made it.
Yeah, Detroit made it. That was it. No, wait, did they?
Yeah, they were in the championship game this year.
Yeah. Against Philly?
Last year they were, yeah.
All right. Yeah, they were. All right, so yeah, we're the last. We're just holding out for last, bro, because last is first.
That's nuts, though, man.
That's not.
Well, they're in the AFC, when was the last time the Dolphins were in there, or
yeah, but we're talking about NFC.
Yeah, no.
NFC, we're the last, man. And we still are tied for the most. It's like, it's crazy. I try to tell people that if you don't understand how good we are, we haven't been there in 27 years.
30.
Is it now?
30
96 to 2026 will be 30.
Yeah.
It was January of 90. Yeah, bro. It's been 30 fucking years. I was 10 years old the last time this happened. I didn't have my first fucking pube yet, dude. Like, this is not a fucking fun thing to deal with. Like, we are the only team that has dealt with this kind of drought. I can't even tell you. Like, the Jets fans are like, oh, well, at least you won one. No, dog. You've been the fucking 2 in a row.
Well, the worst in the NFC is Detroit, though. I mean, they hadn't won a playoff game since they beat us in '92.
Well, they won sure as shit, won enough.
The last couple years, but I mean, I think they still haven't won a Super Bowl.
Have you guys watched the quarterback series on Netflix or no?
Absolutely not.
Come on, man, it's good shit.
Oh, wow.
What is it?
Last year they covered 3 quarterbacks. It was Kirk Cousins, Mariota, and Mahomes. This year it's Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Kirk Cousins again. No, I'm sorry. Joe Burrow.
Kirk Cousins is what an amazing career for a guy that just
signing 1-year deals for $40 million every year for the last like fucking 20 years, dude.
He's brilliant.
And he's the cool dude, the best line in the whole show. Remember, they cover their personal lives and shit. So they're playing in the backyard with his kids, and his kid shows up, and he goes, "Oh man, you got a fresh new cut, man. Great Clips is taking care of you just like they take care of me." Like fucking Kirk Cousins goes to Great Clips for his haircuts, and I fucking love that. Like as corny as that is, like you just look at this dude.
Did he say that because he's getting sponsored by him?
I mean, I don't know. Who gives a shit? The fact that he still goes to Great Clips, dude.
Well, I heard, people that know him love him. It's the same thing with Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, you can't. There's not a bone. There's not a bad bone in these guys' body. Like they're just good dudes.
My buddies that played for the Titans told me when he was there, he bought him all those, those new coolers. But when you opened it up, he had his face. He put his face in it.
Jesus Christ. I mean, and again, it chronicles all that shit. And guys, Netflix Cowboys documentary coming out next month. It's going to cover Jerry Jones's entire 90s run as an owner. So
I don't even
care.
I don't even care.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I salivated with
that's
this
your
shit.
error, Sturch. It's not.
Yeah, you were a child then. That's why I was an adult.
Yeah, I was like, well, I was when he took over, I was 14, 15, but
well, at least old enough to understand what was going on.
Yeah, but I don't really. That's like frustrating to me to watch.
I hate to tell you this, Sturch, and again, the Cowboys were Tex Schramm and Tom Landry, and one of the winningest teams in the 70s, even the 80s. We still went to 3 NFC championship games in the 80s with Danny White.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the mystique comes from. That's who really built this. It would be like somebody taking over McDonald's and then telling the story of how they took over McDonald's as opposed to, the Ray Kroc story.
And again, maybe I'm just younger and I can't appreciate what they did in the 80s, but like
70s and 60s. Yeah.
Well, that too. But like my father was around for that.
But it's the same group. I'm trying to say the same group was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Okay. So Landry and all that. Yeah, so like I understand all that, but like, and that was for the nostalgic old school Cowboys fans who are, I guess you could say 50 years old or older, or 45 or older. I'm in that 40 range. I'm going to be 40 in September. The Cowboys to me are the 90s Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like that's what built this whole conglomerate that is.
No.
I'm talking about who they are as America's team. Like this.
Oh, what are you crazy?
The national exposure they're getting is
because they were America's team way before. Did your dad ever live in Dallas?
No.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Fair point.
What do you mean? That's exactly, dude. You are the spawn of the original America's team fans. Like that makes Jerry Jones has absolutely nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
He took over. Listen, Jerry Jones took over a brand and rebranded it and remarketed it. But
maybe he turned the Dallas Cowboys into a business, and it wasn't a business first.
I'll give you this: should Disney get credit for Marvel?
No.
Thank you.
There you go.
Stan Lee is the reason.
That's a great analogy, bro.
Tom Landry, Tex Schramm, all those guys. That's Stan Lee's crew.
Ernie Stotner
can't come in and say, "Oh, I made him." He didn't make shit. Fucking stop. Stop.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right.
No, for real, man. When you watch the magic of the Cowboys, from the Hail Mary to everything that. Even analytics analyzing players, everything came from the Cowboys, from the cheerleaders to, everything.
Converting other like Antonio Gates, how he was never played football. He was just an athlete. The Cowboys started that first. What I'm trying to say is a sport like Bob Hayes, for example. They
took a track star.
Yeah, they molded him into who he was. Players like that. That they were really good.
And just to add to that, I think he's the reason why we have cover 2 now. They created cover 2 to cover him.
Yeah, because they couldn't. Yeah, he just blew.
And Landry also re-innovated the shotgun formation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's another thing. That was another thing that today that kind of stood out was a lot of under center for Dak today. A lot.
Really?
Yeah. So interesting. We'll see if it plays out, but. oh, by the way, the Here We Go, still there. So anybody who thought he was
Oh,
going to change
good. I heard they got rid of it.
No, it's still there. I listened to it.
I kind of like it.
I love it. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. It's again, I'm such a fucking Cowboys nerd. And that's why I can't wait for this documentary to come out, because I'm just like, oh man, anything Cowboys, I just want to get my hands on.
And I love that. I love that.
Don't forget, we are also the in-season Hard Knocks. So
are we really?
Yeah. So it's the whole NFC East. It's the whole NFC East. It's not just us. So it's our division. So we can see how much we suck at certain points throughout the season. So
listen,
all eyes on the Cowboys.
Can't wait for our predictions. I
think we should wait, bro. Let's wait till the last week of preseason.
The last week of the preseason stuff to do that. Yeah, because I want to make sure there's nobody hurt and this, that, and the third and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see. But we'll get into that when we get there. But training camp is underway. The Dallas Cowboys are on the field as we speak, and we're all very excited about it, except Keith. And that'll be it. So for Dave Sturchio, Bret, and Keith Ernst, this has been a
Murphy.
I'm sorry, and rejuvenated episode of the Jersey Boys podcast, a brand new season for us. Please subscribe, like, follow, all that bullshit that you're supposed to do to help the show grow. And we will see you guys next time. Let's go, Cowboys.
Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boys podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Whatever.
How about this, Cowboys?